No, it's not Nolan creating a Coca-Cola commercial. It's me from my home in a single afternoon and for less than $40. This entire cinematic sequence you're watching right now was created using AI. No cameras, no actors, no studio, no crew, no physical sets. If you try to produce something like this in real life, you'd easily be looking at $50,000, $100,000 at least. Between camera rentals, lighting, locations, crew, post-production, and visual effects, costs add up fast. But using AI, this entire thing can be produced for the cost of a monthly subscription. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how that's possible and how you can start creating cinematic commercials like this yourself. What's up everyone, my name is Sergio from Profit Pulse Media, and we help e-com brands scale profitably by pairing data-driven ad strategy with AI-powered creative. And one of the biggest challenges we see from brands right now is keeping up with how fast AI is evolving. New tools, new workflows, new possibilities are coming out constantly. Brands know they need better ads, more testing, and more variations, but the landscape is moving so fast that it's hard to know what to use, what actually works, and how to implement it efficiently. That's why tools like Higgsfield Cinema Studio are such a game changer. And in today's video, that's exactly what I am going to show you, Higgsfield Cinema Studio. And Cinema Studio is basically a virtual movie studio. You describe what you want to see, pick a cinematic style, and it turns your idea into a beautiful image, then brings it to life with real camera movement, like a tiny film crew living inside your computer. Easy, fast, and affordable, even for small brands. You've probably seen Coca-Cola's viral Christmas ad for 2025, made entirely with AI. We will try to do something similar. We're not doing a holiday ad though. Instead, we're going futuristic. The concept is simple. Different space beings from across the universe fight over a single Coca-Cola, only to discover that Earth is full of them. This walkthrough will show you how we go from idea to storyboard to images, moving video, and finally into a polished commercial. Cinema Studio has both photography and video tools. We're starting in photography mode because strong images are the foundation of strong video. Inside Cinema Studio Photography, you can choose between different types of professional cameras, lenses, focal lengths, and apertures. You can replicate combinations from famous films or create your own setups. If you don't know much about camera gear, don't worry. They're recommended combinations and you can save your favorites. I already have 3 saved here. The first is the Dune Part 2 look. With this combo, the director wanted the desert to feel real and not digital. To achieve this, they used a very interesting mix of modern technology and vintage lenses. This gives a slightly imperfect, organic look. Contrast feels natural. Nothing looks overly sharp or artificial. This is perfect if you want realism with a cinematic soul. The second preset is Maximum Nolan. This style is used in films like Oppenheimer and Tenet. Christopher Nolan is the king of the IMAX format. These cameras are massive, noisy, heavy, and incredibly expensive in real life. But they produce insane resolution, huge depth, and crystal clear imagery. With this setup, everything feels large, grounded, and epic. The third preset is the retro look. This is inspired by classic Star Wars, older sci-fi, and Tarantino-style cinematography. It gives you oval, bokeh, stretched highlights, subtle softness, and that nostalgic cinematic feeling. Perfect for anything that wants a 70s or 80s vibe with blue lens, flares, and softer edges. You can search for your favorite movie combinations or simply use recommendations and test them out to see what fits your idea best. Now we move into image generation. Before touching Cinema Studio, I did something important. I fed Gemini information about Cinema Studio's camera and lens options, plus a description of the commercial I wanted to create. Then I asked Gemini to generate a storyboard prompts that already included the correct camera settings, lighting style, lens choice, and framing. This step alone saves an insane amount of time. First, we need to establish the world. Wide shot, space environments, multiple alien ships warping in. We enter the prompt with our wise cinematic setup and ask for 2 results. This time I'm keeping the first one because it's better communicates scale. You immediately feel like something big is happening. Now we introduce characters. The next scene will show characters fighting over a bottle of Coca-Cola. Here, we're looking for dynamism and a touch of science fiction. I'm choosing the second one because I don't want to clearly see the astronaut's face. Next scene, the object of desire. Here we are looking for a more intimate and dramatic shot of the reward. Adjust the specifications and click generate. This time I'm keeping the first one, which is a more open shot. Now let me show you why settings matter. I take that same prompt and apply the wide establishing shot camera setting instead. You can see it still looks realistic, but it doesn't feel special. The original lens choice gives us better separation, better mood, and better focus on the product. And finally, the revelation. This closing scene must be powerful and epic, so we adjust the settings accordingly, and now we have our complete sequence. I'll select this one here, and now that I have a complete storyboard, we have a very good idea of the video we're about to create. These are our 4 base images, but there may be something we're not happy with. For example, let's say I chose this one where the Coca-Cola bottle is cut. I can adjust it, but not just by scaling it, but also by changing the lighting and other aspects. We adjust the images so that they're just the way we want them. And now we're ready to move on to video generation. We switch to the video option here. There is no longer the option for cameras and lenses. So if you don't know much about this, you can start here. You can choose the type of movement. There are several options, and if you don't know their names, just hover over your cursor and see how they look like. Here we select the first of our generated images. I'll choose a drone shot to give an immersive feeling, as if we were entering the scene. We adjust the size and duration, as you can see. You can also choose whether or not to have sound. We click on generate, and this is the result. I love it. We'll do the same with the next ones and try out different camera movements to see how much you can do. For the fight scene, we'll use a 360 roll to show what they're fighting in 0 gravity. We'll create the next ones. I'll also do a variation with a static camera so you can see the contrast. Look at the difference a camera movement can make. And for the last one, a dolly left for the final reveal. And here's our complete result. Now, the addition. You don't need fancy software. I'm using Final Cut, but Premiere or CapCut works. Anything that lets you place clips on a timeline. Don't forget the audio to give your ad more power. I also added a few extra shots using the same workflow I showed you before. I asked Gemini to give me some prompts with camera, lens types, and so on. I generated the images and then converted them into video, selecting the movement that best suited what I wanted to convey. Think about this. One person, one laptop, one afternoon, one single tool. We just created a cinematic commercial that used to require an entire production team. Higgsfield costs less than renting a single professional camera for one day, not to mention stages, actors, set design, editors, and so on. These types of creations are possible for creators, freelancers, agencies, and brands. And if you want to stay ahead of where AI and advertising are going, make sure you follow me for more breakdowns on the latest tools, workflows, and strategies. And if you love the idea of videos like this for your brand, but don't have the time, team, or desire to figure it all out yourself, reach out to us at Profit Pulse Media and we'll handle your entire creative and growth strategy for you. See you in the next video.